Hi everybody, 11 Institute welcomes all the students of Standard 9th to the subject Science. This is video lecture number 7 for the chapter Tissues. We have been discussing about plant tissues and animal tissues. Coming further in animal tissues, we know that there are four basic types of tissues: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and the nervous tissue. And today we are going to study about or learn about connective tissue. The name itself suggests that the main function is to connect the different tissues, the different organs of the body in different ways. Right, the main function is giving a connection, either a physical supportive connection or by performing a role of transportation. Majority of connective tissues have the same functions. So let us have some basic introduction about the connective tissue, and then we may see some examples also. Fine. So let us move ahead. The cells of connective tissue. Before reading this sentence, I would like to tell you that, or I would like to remind you that we will be talking about two aspects in every tissue. Right? As far as the connective tissue is concerned, there will be cell and there will be matrix. Matrix means you can say the background in which different cells are entangled. For example, if we talk about blood, then blood is having matrix plasma, and inside the plasma there are different cells suspended: RBC, WBC, platelets. These are the different types of cells. Those are embedded or suspended in this matrix, which is the background. I hope this is clear to you. You can take the example of a faluda. Faluda pito siya na. There is a background of milk, and in milk different things are suspended, like chocolate, like dry fruits. They are suspended. Fine. So that is the basic structure of connective tissue, each and every connective tissue, and its type depends upon the type of matrix. This matrix can be solid or it can be fluidic. Sometimes it can be semi-solid or dense. Right, different types of matrix. On the basis of that, there will be different types of connective tissues. Now let us read what is given in textbook. The cells of connective tissue are loosely spaced. Loosely spaced means I can say that intercellular distance is more. We can write distance between the cells is more. Distance between the cells is more. Fine, in case of connective tissue, and these cells are embedded in an intercellular matrix. I have already told you what do we mean by matrix: a common background in which these cells are embedded. Let us move ahead. See, this is the basic structure of a connective tissue. Right, you can see this interwoven lines over here. What do they show? They represent matrix. They represent matrix, a background like this. Right, suppose I will draw over here, just for an example, that this is suppose a matrix. It can be made up of different types of substances. Right, this is matrix, and inside this matrix there will be different kinds of cells which are embedded. Suppose there is a cell over here, then there is a cell over here, then there is a cell over here, there is a cell over here. Now you can see the distance between these cells is more. So I can say that the cells are loosely spaced. The cells are loosely spaced and they are embedded. They are embedded in an intercellular matrix like this. Fine, I hope this is clear to you. The matrix may be jelly like, I have told you. It can be fluid or it can be dense or rigid. Dense or rigid thi matlab છે it can be solid. So the matrix can be jelly like, stretchable, or it can be fluidic or liquidy, right, or it can be solid, that is dense or rigid. Right, for example, if I say that I am having two examples of connective tissue. Suppose if I talk about blood and if I talk about bone, Both of them are connective tissues, but in blood the matrix is fluid. In bone, the matrix is dense and rigid. Now, based upon the difference in matrix, you can clearly understand that blood is also a connective tissue, bone is also a connective tissue, but they will have different roles to perform based upon the type of matrix which they have. So, in case of blood, it is a fluid matrix. In case of bone, it is a dense matrix. Fine. The nature of the matrix, see, differs in accordance with function of a particular connective tissue. The nature of matrix changes or differs with the function of a particular connective tissue. Blood is having a different role to perform. Blood has to flow, so the matrix of the blood is fluidic. Bone, they do not have to flow, but they have to provide strength. Right, so the matrix of bone is dense or rigid. So based upon the type of function a particular connective tissue has to perform, it can have the different nature of matrix. I hope this is quite clear to you. Right, this point is very much important. The matrix may be jelly-like, it may be fluid, dense or rigid, and this is also important that the cells are loosely spaced and embedded in an intercellular matrix. Sure, let us move ahead. Now let us see the first connective tissue that is given in our textbook, that is blood. See, we are going to see only the examples those are given in our textbook. The first one is blood. Then the second one is bone. Then we are having areolar tissue. And then we are having the fourth one, which is adipose tissue. These are given in our textbook. Yes, we may see some relatable tissues with bone, like we are going to study about cartilage. Then we are going to study about ligaments. You have heard this many times. And we are also going to learn about tendons. Right, so these are the extra things that we will learn. But basically we are having 4 examples given in our textbook and we shall focus on them. Let us see the first one. Yes, blood. So what is blood composed of? What is the structure? Or better than structure, we can write the word over here, the composition of blood. What is it made up of? Right? So blood, see, I have told you in each and every structure there will be 2 parts. There will be a matrix and there will be cells. So in blood there is a fluid matrix. There is a liquid matrix called plasma. In matrix we are having a fluid and that fluid is called plasma. Right? And in the cells we are having 3 types of cells. The red blood cells, you can see them over here. The white blood cells, you can see them over here. And the platelets, you can see them over here. Red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets. They have their own importance and functions. It is not given in textbook, but still I will mention for general knowledge that the red blood cells have hemoglobin. Right, the red blood cells have hemoglobin and they generally transport the gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. The white blood cells are our soldiers. Right, they are helpful for the disease prevention. They are the soldiers of our body. They protect us against several diseases. And platelets are responsible for stopping the blood flow. You know, whenever we have a cut or whenever we are injured, the blood will flow out of the body, but it will stop after a certain time, generally 90 seconds. After 90 seconds, the blood will start flowing. That is due to the clotting, and that clotting process is done by these platelets with the help of these platelets. So they are having different roles to perform and there are different levels in the body. Right. So 2 things. The structure of the blood matrix is fluidic called plasma, and 3 types of cells: red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Now just for your information, I would like to give you some extra data over here which you just have to remember for your general knowledge. Red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes. Then white blood cells are also known as leukocytes. And the platelets are also known as thrombocytes. Right? So these are the other names for these three types of cells. If possible, try to remember them for general knowledge point of view. Right? It is not compulsory as per the textbook. Let us move ahead. The plasma contains proteins, salts, and hormones. Right? This plasma that you can see over here, this background, right? Yellowish white background plasma. This fluid contains proteins, it contains salts, and it contains hormones. Function: blood flows and performs what? Performs transportation. It is the main function of blood. Transportation. Transportation of what? Transportation of gases, transportation of digested food, transportation of hormones, transportation of waste materials to different parts of the body. When you inhale oxygen, that oxygen will go to the lungs, and from lungs that oxygen has to go to the heart for distribution. Now who will carry the oxygen from the lungs to the heart? Blood will carry. You eat food from mouth, that food is digested, that digested food goes to your intestine, from intestine that food goes to blood, and from blood that food is transported to all the cells of the body wherever the food is required. Similarly, cells produced waste materials also. Those waste materials also are collected from the cells by whom? By blood. And blood will then give those waste materials or transport that waste material from different cells to the kidney, where these waste materials will be removed out from our body. Right, so the primary function that blood has to perform is transportation. One word answer, right? What is the main function of blood? To perform transportation. That's it. Fine. I hope this is clear to you. Please pause the video and write this much down in your CW. I hope you have written this. Let us now move ahead and discuss the next connective tissue, which is bone. Right? Fine. So let us see the structure and function of bone. Right? See, this is our human skeleton, right? These are all our bones, different bones, right? Fingers, this is our hand or arm, cranium, head, legs. These are our different bones, right? This is the longest bone of our body. It is known as femur, right? The longest bone of our body. Just for information, femur, right? Longest bone of our body. Sure. So these are all the bones, and let us see what the bone is made up of, what is its internal structure, and what are the functions that it performs. The function is quite clear, it provides a framework for the body. If there are no bones, the muscles cannot be attached. You very well know that these bones are covered by muscles, and that muscle is then covered by epithelial skin. Right? If there are no bones, where would the muscles rely? The body will not have any shape. There is a shape to our body, a particular shape to our body, a particular structure of our body due to the presence and joints of these bones. Right? And one thing is quite clear and evident, that these bones will be having a solid matrix. They will be having a solid matrix. Right? Why? Because the bones are solid in nature. Right? They are strong, they are rigid, so their matrix will be also solid, dense and rigid. Now let us see what is given in the textbook. Yes, this guy is moving. Don't be frightened. A by halta resha. That is fine. Till we learn about him. right? So bone forms the framework that supports the body, right? This is the first role of our bone, first function or first role. Bone forms the framework that supports the body. Further, it also anchors the muscles and supports the main organs of our anchors the muscles मतलब muscles ને હુંચાડી દે છે bone માં, બરાબર ને? The muscles are anchored into the bones, or better word is it also joins to the muscles, right, with the help of different types of tissues, but the muscles are ultimately relying on the bones. So these are the two main functions. It provides the framework and it enters the muscles and supports the main organs of the body. It is a strong and non-flexible tissue. It is strong, that is fine. Barabar na, bones are strong, we very well know that. And they are non-flexible, means you cannot twist and turn your bones. You cannot do that. Just try, તમે બોન ને ક્યારેય બી બેન્ડ નથી કરી શકતા or twist નથી કરી શકતા, તૂટે જ, ફ્રેક્ચર જ થઈ જશે સીધું. તમે તમારા હાથને ક્યારેય વાળી શકતા નથી. સર, અહીંયાથી તો હાથ ફોલ્ડ થાય ને, that is a joint. અહીંયાથી થાય. But if you try to fold your hand from here, it will not get folded because this is non-flexible. You will definitely get a fracture if you try to fold your hand from here, right? Because bones are non-flexible tissues. Let us move ahead. Right, this is the internal structure of bone. Suppose this is a bone and from it we take a small portion and we see an enlarged image like this. This is a bone. These are the connections of blood and nervous tissue, right? The supply of blood and everything else. And you can see these are some basic units of which the bone is made. This is one unit which I am drawing over here. Then this is another unit. Then here I can see one more unit. You can see these rounded structures over here. Here you can see one more unit like this, a rounded pattern. Here you can see many such units. One, second, third, fourth, right? You can see many such rounded units. Each such unit is known as osteon, right? And that osteon is made up of many cells which are known as osteocytes. Many cells which are known as osteocytes. See these cells, these small cells that you are seeing over here. This is one cell. This is another cell. This is third cell. These cells are known as osteocytes. This is the structure of osteocytes. Right. Now this is a detailed image. Generally an image which is learnt by the students in the level of their colleges. Right. But we will now somehow move ahead and see the basic details. Structure. The bone cells are embedded in a hard matrix. Quite clear. Right. Bone cells are made up of a hard matrix that is composed of calcium and phosphorus compounds. It is composed of calcium and phosphorus compounds. Just make a comparison. There was blood and the matrix of blood was fluidic and it consisted of proteins, hormones, salts, waste materials, etc. Here the matrix is hard and the matrix is made up of calcium and phosphorus compounds. એટલે જ કહેવાય છે, we are always being told that when a child is young, right, when he is an infant, give him calcium compounds और कैल्शियम वाली वस्तु એને ખવડાવો તો હાડકા મજબૂત થાય. कैल्शियम से हड्डियां मजबूत होती है. Now if you understand the reason why, because bone cells are made up of, or sorry, bone is made up of a hard matrix and that hard matrix is composed of calcium and phosphorus compounds. Hence we are advised that if you drink more milk, right, in your younger age, or if you drink milk regularly, your bones will be strong. Why? Because milk has tremendous amount of calcium and this calcium is generally used in or stored in bone. Fine, so this is a very good one mark question. What is the matrix of bone made up of? The matrix of bone is hard and it is made up of calcium and phosphorus compounds, right? Now here there is no mention about the bone cells. For blood, we know the names of the blood cells. They were red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. But for the bone, there is no name given to the bone cells. But I will give you the names. The bone cells are generally osteocytes and osteoblasts. Initially, they will be osteoblasts. then they will mature, and the final mature bone cell is known as osteocyte. The word osteo means bone, the word cytes means cells, so osteocytes means bone cells. These are the bone cells. Fine. I request you to please pause the video and write this much down in your CW. This much is given about the bone in our book. Please pause the video and write this much down. Alright, I hope you have written this. Let us now move ahead and see some other tissues related to bone, right, which are quite handy and quite important. So let us first study about ligaments. You have heard this word many times. Now let us see what is this. See, these are the ligaments. This that you are seeing over here, this is a ligament. This is also a ligament, right? This is also a ligament. I will outline them. This structure that you are seeing over here is a ligament. So now what do you think is the function of a ligament? See, this is a bone. Suppose I will name it as bone 1, and this is another bone. I will name this as bone 2. Right, this is also a ligament. And this is also a ligament. Now what do you think is the function of ligament? Definitely connecting two bones. Right, connecting two bones at the joints. Right, so this is first bone, this is second bone, and these two bones are connected with the help of a flexible tissue. Right, ligament is a flexible tissue. Bone was a non-flexible tissue. Ligament is a flexible tissue which is connecting two bones. It provides you flexibility at the joints. Fine. So ligament is a tissue which connects two bones. See one more image which makes it quite clear. This is first bone, this is second bone. See, the name is over here femur. Right, this is the longest thigh bone actually. Femur is known as the thigh bone. Right. So you can now see this is one ligament, this is another ligament over here, this is one more ligament. It is just connecting the two bones. So ligament is a tissue which connects the two bones, and from its nature we know that it will be stable. Right, so we can see now two bones can be connected to each other by another type of connective tissue called ligament. Right, two bones are connected with the help of a connective tissue, and that connective tissue is known as ligament. Fine. The tissue is very elastic, and instead of elastic I have used the word flexible. Right, elastic or flexible. The tissue is very elastic and it has considerable strength. Means if you fold it, it will not break down easily. Bones will break down. Right, although they are rigid, bones also have strength, but bones are rigid in nature. When you try to fold them, they will break down. But ligaments, they are elastic. And being elastic also, they have strength that when folded, they will not break down. They will just provide you some motion. Fine. So this is about the ligaments. Now what is ligament made up of? Ligaments contain very little matrix and connect bones with bones. So this is the only information that is given about ligaments to us. There is much more, but that is not given in our textbook, so we shall not discuss that. But you have to just remember that ligaments contain very little matrix or very less matrix as compared to the bones. Fine. So that was about ligaments. Now you can see an image over here. Again there is a bone. See, this is a bone and this is a muscle. Now this muscle and bones are joined over here, and they are joined over here with the help of another connective tissue which is tendon. So we are studying two new tissues. One was ligament and the other one is tendon. In ligament, the bone is joined with another bone. Here the bone is joined with another muscle. Bone is joined with another muscle. Ligament and tendon. It connects two bones, and the tendons connect the bone with muscles. This is the basic difference between the function of a ligament and a tendon. which is very much clear from this image that there is a muscle and there is a bone over here. Right. So let us study about tendons. Tendons connect muscles to bones and are another type of connective tissue. Tendons are fibrous tissue with great strength but limited flexibility. In the case of ligaments, they were very much elastic or flexibility was more. In case of tendons, the flexibility is less. Now don't be confused. Bones are also strong, ligaments are also strong, and tendons are also strong. Fine. But bones are having no flexibility. Ligaments are having full flexibility. They are very elastic, and tendons are having limited flexibility. Yeah, they are flexible, but not as much as ligaments. So if somebody asks me which one is more flexible, ligament or tendon, what is a more flexible connective tissue, I will definitely answer that ligaments are more flexible and tendons are less flexible connective tissues. Sure, let us move ahead. See, this is the image which clarifies the difference. Here, this is bone number 1, this is another bone, and these two bones are connected with the help of this ligament. Here, this is a muscle, and this is a bone. Now, this muscle and bone are connected with the help of tendon. So, definitely, you can see that this portion is having less flexibility. It will have less flexibility, and this portion will have more flexibility as it is imparting a joint. Right? So two bones are connected with the help of ligament, while a muscle and a bone are connected with the help of a tendon. Ligaments have limited flexibility while tendons have, opposite. Ligaments have more flexibility, they are very much elastic, and tendons are having less flexibility or limited flexibility. Fine, so that was about bones. Let us now move ahead and see about another connective tissue, which is the cartilage. Right? Cartilage. Now, this is somewhat different, right? This is having much similarity to the bones. Let us see what it is. Cartilage has widely spaced cells. We very well know that almost all the connective tissues have widely spaced cells. You can see them over here. This is the matrix, and these are the cells which are very much far away from each other. See, actually, these are different types of cartilages. Cartilages also have type. This is hyaline cartilage, this is fibrocartilage, and this is elastic cartilage. These are different types of cartilages. But in all these cartilages, there is the distance between the cells is more. Right? You can see that over here. So cartilage has widely spaced cells. The solid matrix is composed of proteins and sugars. Proteins and sugars. Now, if you can compare that with bones, in bones, the matrix was made up of calcium and phosphorus compounds. Calcium and phosphorus compounds. While in cartilage, the matrix is made up of proteins and sugars. Function or role. Cartilage smoothens the bone surface at the joints. Now suppose this is one bone, and here I am having another bone. Now if I directly join them, this joint will not be smooth. અવાજ આવશે અહીંયા આ બંનેને આપણે એમને જોઈન કરી આપીએ તો આ સરફેસને અહીંયા આપણે સ્મૂથ બનાવવો છે લાઈક ધીસ. આ સરફેસને અહીંયાથી આપણે આમ સ્મૂથ બનાવવો છે. તો આ જે એડિશનલ ટિશ્યુ આપણે અહીંયા એડ કર્યો, that tissue is nothing but cartilage. It will smoothen, right? બોનનો જે સરફેસ હશે ને અહીંયા કોર્નર ઉપર એને ઈ સ્મૂથ સરફેસ બનાવી જશે પોઇન્ટેડ ને બદલે. બરાબર ને? તો it smoothens the bone surface at the joints like this. Now see, this is a bone, right? This is another bone. Now instead of directly joining these bones, there is cartilage over here, so it will make the surface smooth. Here also there is a layer of cartilage, right? This is ligament. Don't be confused with the white color. This is ligament. It is connecting one bone to another bone, but exactly between these two bones, laterally, head to head, here we are having the cartilage, and it is making the surface of the bone very smooth in order to avoid friction. In order to avoid the friction at joints, this will make your joint smooth. It will enable a easy movement of the joints over here, or of the bones at the joints. Right, so this is the cartilage. I hope you have the idea. This bone, its surface is made smooth with the help of cartilage. Let us now move ahead. Sorry. The cartilage is also present in nose, ear, trachea and larynx. Now it will be very much clear to you with the example of ear. Just touch your ear, right? Or watch yourself in a mirror. You will see that your ear is upright. Ear તમારો એક perfect position માં છે. એ આમ ઢળી નથી પડતો નીચે. કાઉના ears જોજો, એ ઢળી પડે છે. The ears of cow. But આપણા ear છે એ perfect position માં છે. Why they are in a perfect position? Because they have cartilaginous tissue inside them. They have cartilaginous tissue inside them. But you are able to fold your ears. તમે તમારા ear ને ધક્કો મારજો, એ fold થશે. એને finger થી fold કરવાની try કરજો. You can fold your ears. જ્યાં સુધી તમારી finger એની ઉપર હશે ત્યાં સુધી folded રહેશે. જેવું તમે finger હટાવી લેશો, they will again gain their original position. આ cartilage ની flexibility બતાવે છે. Right, so cartilage is a flexible tissue while bones are not. રાઈટ, તમે બોન ને તમારી ફિંગર ને ઓર તમારા હાથને વચ્ચેથી ફોલ્ડ કરવાની ટ્રાય કરજો, એલ્બો પાસેથી ફોલ્ડ થશે, બટ બીજે ક્યાંયથી ફોલ્ડ થવાનો કોઈ ચાન્સ નથી, બાંધી જ જાય ડાયરેક્ટ. Right, so that is the difference between cartilage and the bone. The cartilage is having some flexibility while the bones do not have any flexibility. Right, see it is written over here. We can fold the cartilage of ears, but we cannot bend the bones in our arms. Right, the bones cannot be bent while cartilage can be folded or it can be bent. So cartilages are flexible tissues. They will smoothen the joints at the surface of the bone. Right, this is very much important. I request you to please pause the video and write this information down about the cartilage. Please pause the video and write this down in your CW. Alright, I hope you have written this. Let us now move ahead. So this is very much important. These questions are not directly given in the exercises of textbook, but still you have to write it in CW, and these are very much important from examination point of view. Give the difference between bone and cartilage, give the difference between tendon and ligament. We have given these differences on the basis of question and answers, on the basis of the information given in the textbook. So please pause the video and write both these answers in your CW. Alright, I hope you have written them. Let us now move ahead and see one more type of connective tissue, the third one, areolar connective tissue. Now areolar connective tissue is generally present below the epithelium, and the main function that it is performing is to fill spaces. Fill spaces. Suppose this is a bone. Above the bone there is a muscle. Now this muscle is joined over here with the help of tendon. But here there is some space. So such space will be filled with the help of areolar connective tissue. Apart from that, suppose this is the outermost layer, epidermis, and there is space over here also. So this space is filled with the help of such areolar connective tissue and adipose connective tissue also. But let us first discuss about the areolar connective tissue. It is found between the skin and muscles. Right, the example I have given to you just now, found between skin and muscles. It is also found around the blood vessels. It is also found around the nerves in bone marrow. Right, so location, where do you find the areolar connective tissue in our body? You can find it around the skin and muscles, between the skin and muscles, sorry, to fill spaces, and you can also find them around the blood vessels and nerves in the bone marrow. This is the location given in the textbook. This is the image of a areolar connective tissue. It is having wide variety of cells. See, They are having mast cells, lymphocytes, plasma cell, neutrophil. Many types of cells are present over here in a matrix over here, which is also known as the ground substance. Fine. What is the role or what is the function? It fills the space inside the organs, right? I have already told you they are space fillers. They fill the space inside the organ. It supports the internal organs, right? It supports the internal organs and helps in the repair of tissues. So three functions are performed by the areolar connective tissue. They fill the space inside the organs, they support the internal organs, and they help in repair of tissues. Fine. So this is about the areolar connective tissue. Sure. Let us now move ahead and see one more type of connective tissue, which is the adipose tissue, and this is also known as fat tissue because they are made up of fat cells. They are generally responsible for the thickness of our skin, right? If the amount of adipose tissue is more, or if the fat stored inside the adipose tissue cells is more, our skin will appear thick, we will appear chubby, right? So these are the fat cells. You can see this is the outermost layer, epithelium, right? I will see, this is a very good image. This is the outermost layer of epithelium. Then this is areolar connective tissue used to fill the space, and below that this is a layer of fat cells, and this layer is known as the layer of adipose tissue. Location: the fat stored in adipose tissue is found below the skin, and also between the internal organs. So these are the two locations where we find the adipose tissue. This is how adipose tissue looks microscopically. Fine, these are the fat cells, and this is the common ground tissue that we have. These yellow colored are the different fat cells that we have. Function: the cells of this tissue are filled with fat globules, or in other words, their main function is to store fat. Fat, or better word you can say, is lipids. To store the fat or lipids is the main function of the adipose tissue, right? Due to the storage of fats, it also acts as an insulator, right? So their main function is to store fat, and because they can store fat, their main function is to behave as an insulator to protect our body from abrupt changes, right? Need not to go in detail about this, but just remember that they store fat and they behave as an insulator. Why they behave as an insulator is not a point of discussion for now. Fine, you will study it in your later classes. Sure. So this is about the adipose tissue. This is an important 1 mark question, that they store fat and they behave as an insulator. So in exam a question can be asked, right? A question can be asked that dash tissue stores fat and acts as an insulator. Acts as an insulator, and our answer will be adipose tissue stores fat and acts as an insulator. This is an important 1 mark question. There is one more question given in the exercise, right? What are the functions of areolar tissue? This is a textbook question, and this is the answer. We have already seen it while discussing about the areolar tissue, that they fill space, they support the internal organs, and they help in the repair of other tissues. These are the basic functions performed by the areolar tissue, right? So in today's video lecture we have studied about the connective tissue. In connective tissue we have seen about blood, bone, ligaments, tendons, cartilages, areolar tissue, and adipose tissue. And the main important part was about the bone, cartilage, ligaments, and tendons. You have to be very much clear about them. And specifically, don't be confused between ligaments and tendons. If so, please rewind the video lecture and watch it once again. So we end the video lecture over here. Please write the answers in your CW, and we will now meet again in the next video lecture, and we will discuss about the muscular tissue. Till then, goodbye. Take very good care of yourselves. Bye.